Guys, is this do you know what I want to know is I'd like to know if this broadcast is clear because the beginning of it wasn't so clear, and then my boom arm here doesn't seem to be. It's all in the way, I think. It is. Do you think it's in the way? And then can you hear me? I honestly I dislike the fact that I have to shout. Raising my voice is not a good thing at all. So what I need you to do is you need to tell me, first of all, if this broadcast is clear, this boom mic it's just so imposing. It's in the way. Or should I do it like this? Oh, shala kontoka. Ilo chikontok. But the whole thing is in the way, isn't it? Goodness. And it's stretched across the screen, which I just absolutely don't like. I don't like that the fact that it's right across my screen. Oh, I can't stand that. Right, few comments here, loud and clear. It's clear, I'm glad. Very clear, good. Right, so let me just reduce this. And we're going to talk about a couple of things this morning. And like I said, honestly, I need one of those desk stands. I do. Right. Okay. Patrick, hello. Thank you for being with me a few moments. Patrick, thank you. Somebody's watching from Kumpika, Muchinga province. That's my mother's village, hometown. My father was from Luapula. My mother's from Chinsali, Muchinga province there. And incidentally, speaking of which, I will be making a trip to Chinsali very soon, possibly next month. And I will bring that to you live. There are a couple of things we're doing out there in my mother's hometown. I haven't been there since I was a little boy. I mean, and I'm 56. It's been years since I've been there. Guys, let's get into it real quick. I'm glad. I know the motion of my mouth sort of skips ahead or skips behind the actual audio. I think that has to do with internet connection, with the internet connection. And somebody's watching us from Australia, Queensland. Is it Queensland or Queensland? How do they say that? Kukamwala, South, Lusaka, Kamwala, South. You are loud and clear, just a slight lag with the image, which is still okay. I don't like that. I want it to be perfect, for goodness sake. You know, they tell me that the best way to get the best internet connection is to use those Starlink guys. I'm on Zamtel Fiber. I am. And I quite like Zamtel. I am a Zamtillian. I am. Guys, let's get into it real quick. Oh, by the way, before I even say that, I saw a post on, did you guys see this Kalemba? Somebody, I didn't get the full story. And usually I don't like commenting about stuff that I don't fully understand. You know, I don't like talking about things that I don't have a full grasp on. But I will mention this in passing only because it sort of piqued my interest. And it's this. Apparently, there's somebody on Facebook was celebrating the fact that somebody else was divorced. And so this person was sort of cautioning this other person that, look, divorce is not something to be celebrated about. I mean, when divorce happens to someone, it's never a good thing. It should never be celebrated, you know. And so this post was about that, and it reminded me. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Only because she's been in the news, and anytime when a celebrity or a person of note is in the news, you sort of pay attention and they become worthy of note. And in many cases, many of them are meme worthy. And I'm speaking about the famed actress Halle Berry, who was recently on a British talk show, and the host of that show kept on referring to her age, and she didn't like that very much, which I understand that. You don't want to be a guest on a show and the person consistently talks about your age. And Halle Berry, in a moment of frustration, she sort of snapped back and shot back and said, "Look, could you stop asking me about my frickin' age?" Frickin', okay? That's different from the other word. Frickin' is euphemism. That's Christian cussing. My friend Danny Smith used to say Christian cussing. It's not quite like insult. It's an insult. It's almost like that, but it's not. It's the reason they call it a euphemism. So Halle Berry said, "Look, stop asking me about my frickin' age." And then they started talking to her about her possible marriage to her new beau. She's got a new boyfriend. I don't know his name. I think he's a singer, an artist, something, some type of entertainer. I don't know. And the rumor was on social media, the rumor was that this guy had asked to marry her and she said no. Well, that was the big rumor on the internet. Well, Halle Berry said, well, that's not true. He did ask me. I did say yes. And we're just trying to figure out a date. And good for them. The only thing, though, I will say, as a word of caution, because let's keep in mind, Halle Berry's been married 3 times. She was married to David Justice once, and he was a famous baseball player. Then she got married to Eric Benet, who's a sort of like an R&B soul singer guy. And I find it interesting that Eric Benet, he has a very active social media life, but he never talks about Halle Berry. And kudos to him. I mean, he's never trashed her. He's never talked negatively about her. It's like he moved on, and that's great. And then the third guy she married was an actor by the name of Martinez something. The guy, he played opposite Diane Lane in the film Unfaithful. Diane Lane played the wife to Richard Gere's character. I forget his name. Well, the love interest in that film is a young French actor. I think he's French. Well, he was married to Halle Berry for a time. Now, Halle Berry, as you know, in America, when you get divorced, child support is a thing. It's a huge, big, gargantuan thing. If you don't pay child support in America, honey, they send you to prison. Okay. And it's not chump change. Okay. It's not patty cake, baker, man. It's not tiptoeing through the tulips. In America, they don't mess around. You pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support depending on your income. It's not like here in Zambia where these young girls, they take these chaps, these delinquents, they take them to Boma court there, and the court says, how much can you afford? 500 kwacha? How is a pakisa? Uzimupelekea uzimupasa 150 kwacha you per month. Ni kuno twanga labane. 150 kwacha per month in child support. What is that? What the damn which is that? I mean, what for what? For who? For what for? I mean, for why? That's ridiculous. So anyway, what was I saying? So Halle Berry is now contemplating of getting married a 4th time. Now, here's my advice. And look, this may land with a hollow thud, but I believe this. Honey, if you're divorced 3 times, you're going to get divorced a 4th time. Maybe this is a time for you to sort of say, maybe this doesn't work for me. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. What are you guys saying? Are we on? I hope we're on. So anyway, I want to talk to you about this issue. 2 things I want to talk to you about. Many of you know that very soon the president, our Republican president, is going to be addressing Parliament and giving Parliament a progress report on our national values as a country. And there are a couple of things, two things in particular that I would love to. Somebody says, I'm waiting for the real issue. Well, you know what? It's this is called a buildup. Who is this? Mwinga. This is called a preamble. It's called a buildup. Okay? This is the reason when you go to a restaurant, you order starters. Okay? You go in there, you sit down, the waitress comes, chit-chats with you a little bit and says to you, can I bring you some drinks? What would you like for a starter? You do that for a few minutes and then they bring the main meal. What you want me to do is to turn on my camera and then just start talking about the main topic. I never do that. If that's what you're looking for, who is this? Mwinga. If that's what you're looking for, I'm not your guy. I'm all about the buildup. I'm all about the crescendo. I'm all about the getting to that point. I'm all about the apex. I'm all about getting to the apex. You don't just wake up and you find yourself at the apex of anything. It shocks me when people say this. Now just get to the point. Well, excuse me, if you're not patient enough to walk through this with me, if you're not going to hold my hand, well, honey, in the words of Beyonce, to the left, to the left, to the left, step aside, honey, step aside. You can catch this on the rebound. How's that for an answer? Anyway. So as you know, the president is going to address Parliament very soon and giving Parliament a progress report on our national values. Two things I would love to hear the president address. First of all, patriotism. There is no sense of patriotism in this country. I will tell you now. People don't love this country. Zambians don't love Zambia. Do you know how I know this? There are many instances where, especially these public institutions, they roll out the red carpet for foreign nationals, but they stand in the way of the progress of an indigenous Zambian. That's not patriotism, number one. Number two, a sense of loving your country, a sense of protecting your country, a sense of embracing your country to the point where you realize and you understand that this is the only country you have and the privileges that you have as a citizen of this nation, you will never have anywhere else. I mean, these are the things I'd like to hear. Patriotism. It needs to be taught in schools. When we were kids, when we were younger, and we would go to, of course, this may sound mundane. This may sound inconsequential to some of you, but I'm telling you, this went a long way in fostering this idea of love of country. When we were kids, you'd go to the cinema. Not too long ago, we went to watch, and I haven't been to the cinema in a long time, but we recently went to watch a film at arcades called, what was it called? Not Get Help, Send Help. Send Help. And I was sitting in the movie theater next to these young people, and right before the movie started, I turned to these young people. I said, when I was a kid, when we would go to the cinema, Plaza 1, Plaza 2, that was on, I think it was on Cha-Cha-Cha Road. The national anthem would play before every movie would start. Everyone in the cinema would stand to their feet and sing the national anthem before the movie played. Do you know that what that was? That was it was inculcating this idea of love of country, patriotism. That you are a Zambian and this nation belongs to you, and the privileges that exist for you exist uniquely for you, and they don't exist anywhere else. Patriotism. We have lost that, mate. I mean, look at the immigration department. The immigration department is an absolute mess. Porous as hell. There are agents, immigration agents, that would sell this nation for 30 pieces of silver. That's not patriotism. These are the things I want to hear. Patriotism, number one. Number two, I want the local authority to deal with this vice that is eroding our people so meticulously, so minutely, meaning little by little, nibbling away at the essence of who we are. And what I'm talking about is these guys that put their banners, these guys, they're scammers, but they call themselves witch doctors. They're not witch doctors. They're just scammers. They recognize your desperation. They recognize your state of distraught, and they take advantage of it. They do. When you have been robbed, you've been wronged, and you don't know where else to go. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to call on God. You're not a Christian. You don't know how to bombard the gates of glory. You don't know how to throw yourself at the foot of the cross and say, Lord Jesus, help me. You don't know how to do that. So the only recourse you have is you go to these con artists that call themselves witch doctors, and they will tell you everything you want to hear. They will convince you that they are the answer to your problem. They'll tell you, bring a needle. These mambalers. Bring a needle and bring a mirror. And don't forget the cash. Bring a needle, bring a mirror, bring the cash. And we're going to get to the bottom of your problem. And people believe this because they're desperate. I want to see the local authority deal with this heavy-handedly. Why? Because the issue of child molestation in this country, the issue of child sexual abuse in this country, the issue of female mutilation in as far as rape and unsolicited sexuality is concerned, has its roots in these so-called witch doctors. These are the same chaps that tell you that if you want your money to grow, if you want your money to multiply, all you have to do is go and ravage one of these little minors. And people believe it. That is eroding our core value as a people. And the local authority has to deal with it. In particular, in my city here, in our city, if you are a Lusaka resident, in our city, Lusaka City Council needs to retrain their council police, because as it stands now, the council police they're scared as hell. You tell a council police officer, go over there and remove that banner. They won't do it. They'll look at you and say, "Ah, we na la fimbo bushku." Eh? Na la fimbo bushku na la pofka amorute na la na la pena. Na la buka ni mpena. Ngana kumiako na la pena. Council police. It means you have to be retrained. That's what that means. It means you have to be retrained. The current curriculum there is completely useless. It is now and void, which means now we have to retrain you. Those are the things that the council is supposed to be dealing with. Retrain them. In their current state, totally useless. I mean, for what? For who? For what? For why? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Anyway, that's a big one for me. That's a huge one for me. I would love to see Lusaka City Council, the local authority, land heavily on this one. But they're afraid. They're afraid. 30, 40 years from now, we'll look back and say, part of the reason we are in the mess that we're in is because the Lusaka City Council could not manage their fear. They couldn't contain their fear. What is there to fear? How do you fear con men? I see it in the comments. Some of you think it's joking and we're just playing around. There's nothing funny about that. Some of you, Uma comments, oh, chitambala wala fimba. Wala buka na upe na iwe. Iya chitambala wala kulowa. Iya ta kumia kwa la chimona. Iya amonuta ya bombe. You are so dwanzy. And the more you say that, the more these con artists love it. How entertaining kumia kubantu chala ya mbuka. Insanu idia. How entertaining kumia kubantu ngana kumia ko chala ya mbuka. Elionga cha mbuka na ena mbuka. You see, this is the reason why Hagainde Hichilema is pushing for education, free education. Some of you, all you need is just a little education. That's it. That's all you need. All you need is a little ABC, 1, 2, 3, 1 plus 1 is 2. That's all you need. Come on. Let's be serious as a people. So those are the issues I want to hear when those are some of the issues I want to hear when the president gives Parliament a report on our national values. Lastly, I keep telling you, the issue of ECL's body has resurfaced because the South African authorities, the police, the investigative wings in South Africa, are now actively investigating the allegation that ECL was poisoned. You remember when Rafael hijacked Nakachinda, thank goodness he's in prison. I'll tell you what, I will tell you the truth. I mean, that guy was an absolute nuisance. And I know in Zambia, Zambians, I don't know, Zambians were just, how can you say that? Well, I did say it because he committed a crime. Come on, guys. What is this foolish, tepid sentimentality that you have? You are glad he's there. Be real. Rafael Hajakanagachinda is one of the people that insinuated, not only insinuated, he said it in black and white. He said ECO was poisoned. And then he tried to absorb himself of blame by saying, no, the family alleges that ECO was he was poisoned. South Africa. If you don't know Zambia, South Africa. It's South Africa, but in Zambia we say South Africa. South Africans, investigation. Based on that false allegation, false, baseless allegation that was concocted in the pits of hell by Makebi Zulu and company, along with the Rafael hijacker insane Nakachinda. Kuti, ECL was poisoned. Now the South Africans are investigating that. Why would ECL be poisoned? And for what? We all know how he met his end. We all know that it was a physical ailment that took him away. Notwithstanding, every one of us are going to go in some way. One day, you're going to read the paper that Chitambala Moyowa passed away. I mean, just this morning, I woke up this morning and I read in the paper, Robert Duvall, famed, celebrated Hollywood actor, Robert Duvall passes away at 95 years old. One of these days, you're going to wake up and you're going to read that on Facebook. So-and-so just passed away. Why? Because we're human. We die. We live, we die. It's called the circle of life. But these PF vagabonds, they tried to make it more than what it was. They tried to somehow insinuate that the state had a hand in ECL's demise, knowing full well that that is not true. Those lies, those innuendos, those fabrications have come back to bite them in the butt. Rafael Nakachinda is on record sitting in a studio in South Africa saying, well, the family thinks the ECO was poisoned. He was killed. It was foul play, is what it was. Imbecile, vagabond, idiot. Right. Could you give me a call? I'd like to hear your views. Call me only on WhatsApp, please. Do not call me on, don't give me a direct call. Just call me on WhatsApp, please, and I'd like to hear your views. I'm going to be on here for about 10 minutes. Is the broadcast clear? Please tell me in the comments if the broadcast is clear. Could you do that? Yeah. Who's that? Someone says, unleash the wisdom. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just call me on that number there. WhatsApp only, please. Or as we say in Zambia, WhatsApp. Call me on WhatsApp. No, it's WhatsApp, okay? It's a play on words is what it is. Loud and clear, I'm glad. Very, very, very good. So call me on that and just give me your 2 cents worth or what you think, and then we'll move in that direction, okay? Let me play something here for you, as if I can. It's 100% clear. I'm glad to hear that. I am. Right. So you can call me. That's the number there. Only on WhatsApp. And then I'd like to hear your views on what we've discussed. And also, please, could you confine our discussion to what we've talked about? Okay. Do not call me and start asking me about, astrophysicists, because I know nothing about that. I mean, literally nothing about astrophysicists. So just confine, relegate the conversation to what we have talked about. Can you do that for me? I think you can. Lovely. Let's see. Clear, very clear. Soti, it's time for a post-mortem. Indeed. It's time for a post-mortem. Who's that? Who said that? There you go. That's what it is. Maureen says that. Ati muliba kule kafia. Alamwandi. Here we go. Call me on WhatsApp, guys. Here we go. We do lack a sense of patriotism. We do. The issue with the Ghanaian president over the fugu was very embarrassing and disrespectful. Tried to dress it up as friendly banter, but it was just inappropriate. I love it when people talk like this. Because in Zambia, we trivialize everything. Fionzema jokes in Zambia. Here it is, we had a foreign head of state from Ghana visiting us in their own traditional attire. And then we sort of made fun of it. Hello?
Yes, hello, Mr. Mo.
Hi there.
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm well. Who's speaking?
I'm Ruben calling from Shawarma.
Well, Ruben, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on your live.
Please go ahead.
You see, some people's best enemies, they are mouth. Them, they have even forgot that it's them who are like coming up with those stories of like poisoning our former head of state, who is Mr. Rungu, passed away in South Africa. So sometimes we should like mind our words before we say them. Mostly we will say something and forget about it. Some other people, they have like put it on record to say, oh, this and this person has said this on this action. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Watch what you say. I mean, Rafael Hijakanakachinda thought he was a star when he was on South African television, on South African TV, making baseless accusations that a former late head of state had been killed, poisoned on foreign soil, and he thinks it was okay. Totally baseless. Well, they got him. They did. They did. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Who am I speaking with?
Good morning. You're speaking to Ethel.
Hi, Ethel.
Calling
Please.
you from Germany.
From Germany?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Ethel. How's Germany? Is it cold over there?
Yeah, it snowed yesterday, but today it's rainy, so it's not the best weather, but it's okay.
Wonderful. Please go ahead, Ethel.
Mr. Simon, I wanted to ask, do you think the mayor should be given more powers in order for him to make certain decisions? Should they have more powers to have actually control over the city? Then secondly, you talked about the council police who are scared, probably some are not trained. You talked about training. If you would be the mayor of Lusaka, would you like to maybe, besides just the training, but to also equip them with the right tools like tasers, handcuffs, that they're trained properly to actually enable them do their job well? These are my two things that I was concentrating about, because I know really the council police are not well equipped. We have just civilians that can also attack these people who are trying to do their job, making it very difficult if they're not empowered with the right tools to do their job. Please help me find the solution to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethel. All right, there are two questions there. Let me deal with the first one. The council, in my view, as far as the mayor's office is concerned, I agree, mayor's office, the position of mayor is more ceremonial than anything else, number one. Number two, most people that vie for that office are going in it not to serve the city, but to serve themselves. They're going in it for what the office brings to them. And I'm not speaking about any one particular person. I'm speaking about across the gamut. The mayors that we have in this post-90s era that we're in now, mayors that came after the 80s and 90s, they're all in it just because of the perks that come with that position. In the 70s and 80s, mayors were not only about serving the city, they had a clear roadmap as to where they wanted the city to be. They had this idea, they had this mantra that the city comes first. The city comes first. Mayors no longer have that. When you sit down with any mayoral candidate, they'll give you platitudes, they'll give you, copy and paste responses in as far as what they plan to do if and when they are elected. But that's all it stops there. It's just, no, we're going to provide water. We're going to put taps in the markets. But at the core of it, all they're doing, most of them, all they're doing is wanting to attain a position that will give them perks that will eventually benefit them. Now, when you have that, there is no sense of love for city. There's no sense of wanting the city to function better. It's almost non-existent. I mean, we've inched a few steps forward from where we were, because you remember there was a time mayors were elected from a pool of councillors. And that was a very corrupt system, because it was just a bunch of councillors that would come together, and whoever had the most money to dish out to sort of bribe their fellow councillors was the one that would become mayor. Or whoever was supported by the president would become mayor. It was never merit-based. It was never merit-based. It was never an idea of wanting to see the city better. It's all about, if I get that position of mayor, what am I going to get? I'm going to start making deals for myself. I'm going to start buying land. I'm going to start doing this, that, and the other. It's going to... Now, if that's your focus, you've got no business being mayor. You don't. If that is your end goal, you've got no business being mayor. Secondly, the issue of council police. This city, off the record, has a little over 4 million residents in this town, city. 4 million. Council police, we only have 105 council police. 105. Recently, a few more were trained. You know, you saw these council police, you know, doing taekwondo and karate and all that. Well, 100, even if you had 500 council police, that is a paltry number. The local authority, local government needs to begin to invest in that personnel. They need to invest in council police. Now, what is the role of the council police? Council police's role is not just to ensure that street vendors are not trading on the street. In this country, I'm telling you, we have relegated the role and the job of the council police to just that. No, wa council babwela. Very good. Wapisha ma vendors. The job of a council police officer is multifaceted. It's not just confined to that. One of the jobs of a council police officer is to make sure that the roads are clear, open, are not blocked in any way. To make sure that businesses along the street have bins and that people are complying. Businesses are complying. Businesses have their subscription, their membership for garbage collection. If they don't have that, they should be fined. It is so multifaceted, but in Zambia, we have oversimplified it. No, wapisha ma vendors. That's the reason the system doesn't work, is because we have relegated the role of the council police to just chasing street vendors. It's much more than that, and it's much more complex than that. And what you end up having is people that they call themselves council police officers, but because they know the system has neglected them, they do their own thing. But they get a salary at the end of the month for doing nothing. Council police get a salary at the end of the month for doing absolutely nothing. That's the truth. Hello?
Morning.
Hi there.
Good morning, Mr. Merrill.
A very good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. Who's speaking?
This is Wiseman
Weissman, please go ahead.
from Kabwe. Thank you very much. I think tackling the issue of what you were advising in terms of what the president should address, I think exactly to what you have mentioned, it has to be tackled, because I can assure you we are slowly losing it. We are slowly becoming Zambians in some of the things which we have started diverting and copying from those who are trying to influence us to follow. So for me, all the points which you have mentioned about what the president should tackle, I agree with you. Coming to the issue of the Lungu family and the South African police, that's what normally happens. When you play too much to your system, you think every system can be manipulated. And when you allow politicians to be saying whatever thing which come across to their mind, you find yourself in problems. So for us, as Zambian people and Zambian government, we should not even be involved in trying to help them as they are facing such kind of investigation. Let them prove that what they were claiming to say it has happened. They should prove it to the South African government. Otherwise, it's a solicit to them and what they are going through. So let them prove that now what we are assuming. Hopefully, I've spoken the English properly.
You have.
Hopefully, I won't be corrected.
No, I won't. I won't correct you.
What they were. Thank you very much. Meaning, I'm a good student.
You are.
To lecture someone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Have a wonderful day.
And you. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Murenda na phone mumsebo.
Hello.
Hi there.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. Who's speaking?
You're speaking is Dixon.
Hi, Dixon.
Kundola.
Kundola. Kulishani kukopa.
Yes. Kopara kwa natrisho bueno sana.
But Dixon, go ahead.
Yes, I actually wanted to appreciate the fact that you are raising awareness to Dwanziness, Dwanzi followers. You know, if there's a challenge that I've observed so far in our country, is we are having Dwanzi politicians that want to politicize anything. Whether the president decides something that is going to benefit the people, politicians want to politicize everything. So you see, like people like Rafael Nakachina, they've got followers. Those same Dwanzi followers that we actually always talk about. So I want to appreciate the fact that at least you are raising awareness. And I think it's very much important that you also emphasize about free education. Because I'm sure that free education is going to make people understand and distinguish a genuine intention and a political idea. At least such kind of distinctions will be able to be known in the near future. Otherwise, that's it.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I agree. All right, a couple comments on here that we can sort of. Someone who says people are scared. No, I disagree with that. There are lots of people that can speak English. You don't have to speak English. You can speak any language you want, as long as you translate it. Please encourage callers to speak in their native tongue. Speak the language you're comfortable. Listen, we'll translate it as long as I don't know how to speak Tonga or Lubale or Lo. Okay? All right. Too much feedback. They can't call and try to listen to the live. What does that mean? Right. We need our city clean. And so you're, well, you're very kind to say that. Somebody says, what will do different from having this information if you were to be voted as mayor? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Mwewa. Good morning over there.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'll go by Peace Soldier.
Okay. Where are you calling
Peace
from?
Soldier calling here. I'm calling from New York.
New York City. How's the Big Apple?
Yeah. So far, so good.
How's the new? Hey, listen. How's the new mayor over there? What's his name? I forget his name. The new mayor in New York. What's his name?
I don't even know his name. I knew the previous one.
All right. Who was the previous mayor? Who's that? Bloomberg.
No. The black guy. He's Ghanaian. What's his name again?
I forget. Anyway.
Never mind.
Never mind. Please go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
I know he went to Ghana because he thought that's where his ancestors came from.
Okay.
But here is my observation concerning the topic of Dwanziness. Education is the key, like you said, basic education, and it's lacking in a lot of people. It's like a 30-year, 40-year problem here. Here's what usually happens. A kid, 16 years old, 20, who have a child. Now they're not able to take care of the child. The child ends up with the grandparents, usually grandmother. The reason why the child got pregnant in the first place is because they grew up in an environment that wasn't right. So the kid ends up with the same grandmother, same environment. Okay. So even though the kid is going to school, the morals, the beliefs, and all the deeper, lessons of life are still being provided by the same grandmother or father where the problem actually started off. So as much as we are targeting educating kids, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have like communal programs where grandmothers or other guardians taking care of these kids can be taught on basics, okay, that they can deliver to the kids, the tools of life. That's lacking, and this cycle is vicious. It will take 30 to 50 years to have a healthy country. Okay, so I really pray and hope Hijilema's vision on education, which is free now, we appreciate that. I pray that there will be, it won't only be free, but the content, the quality and ADC will also, improve. So that's my submission.
Thank you so much,
Honestly,
sir. Thank you.
It's sad. It's so sad.
No, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Hello? This will be the last one. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Mo. How are you?
I'm well. Who's speaking?
I'll go by the name of G.
So, Gene, where are you calling from?
Lusaka.
Oh, wonderful. Please go ahead.
Okay. So the thing is, I just want to start by thanking you for like whatever that you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like you are the best candidate for. Listen, politics aside, but I feel like you are the best person to stand as or to be as the mayor of Lusaka.
Well, I appreciate that confidence. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Away from that, I think I'm very much concerned with how our so-called aspiring leaders, people who are aspiring for these positions, the way they are doing politics. More especially with this issue surrounding the issue of the late president,
Yes.
former president. Yeah, from the time everything started and where we are right now, trust me, it's if I sit down and think through about all this, it's like I'm scared with where we are going if we continue with this kind of politics. Politics must have a limit. As away from politics, should humanitarian zoning. So, but it's like some people are very much selfish. They don't care about they don't care about the well-being of this country. All what they care about is themselves.
Yes.
So imagine with where we are right now, we've seen videos. It's on record what Mr. Nakachinda said and what others have been saying. There've been a lot of rumors and everything. And imagine, Mr. Mwewa, with what you said today, there are about more than 100,000 watching on Facebook. And there's somebody who is in Nalolo or Zimba or someone who is actually in Chadiza. They'll believe what you're going to say.
Yes.
So imagine if you say something which is actually false, which means you're misleading the nation.
Indeed.
So there's a need for us Zambians, most to have these leaders, these people who want to become our leaders tomorrow. They should be careful with what they say.
Indeed.
Okay. yeah, otherwise, I'll conclude with saying that you have my support, Mr. Mwewa. You are the best candidate, and trust me, congratulations in advance.
Oh, you're so kind. I appreciate that confidence. God bless you, brother. Cheers. Thank you. Guys, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for participating. We've been on for how long? 51 minutes. That's a long time. God bless.